If you're a small business owner wondering how to get started in government contracting, this video is for you. In this video, I will walk you through what SAMs.gov is, how to register your entity, important lingo you need to know and understand, as well as how to prepare your business to start bidding for government contracts. So let's go. This video is perfect for new and existing entities, and I'm going to tell you why. With government contracting, you can show up as an expert or you can show up as an entrepreneur. Let me explain. Showing up as an expert is you sell blank to blank. In government contracting, there's a whole different ballgame. You actually don't have to sell what you're selling to actually do business with the government. You can position yourself as a middleman. You can position yourself as a prime contractor. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, beginner friendly, okay? So the first thing you need to do is you need to register on SAMs.gov. That is the main #1 primary website for government opportunities. We're going to go over some lingo. We're going to go over the things you need to register. We're going to go over the things to expect after you've completed your registration. And we're going to prepare you to bid. I will do a step-by-step video if you guys want, where I actually go into SAMs.gov and show you exactly what to click step by step. The registration process shifts slightly based on the kind of business that you have already set up and then what you have an idea to sell or the services you want to provide for the government. The key is to not put yourself in a box, right? We want to explore all opportunities and we want to have as much possible wins as we possibly can. So let's get right into #1, which is what is SAMs.gov. SAMs.gov is a website that is structured by the government where they place opportunities on, and anyone that has prime access as a business has the opportunity to go on to seek and search all of the opportunities all over the world. I was literally looking at an opportunity in France. SAMs.gov is the #1 official U.S. database for government contracting. Okay? So SAMS stands for, got it? Okay. In order for you to receive a government contract or even bid on a government contract, you have to be registered with SAMs.gov. With being registered, you will be receiving a UEI number. Now, a UEI number has completely replaced the DUNS number for government contracts. I mentioned this previously in my video, and we're going to talk a little bit about it over here. It's completely free when you register through your SAMs.gov account. So as you register to do business with the government, it'll automatically be issued to you because that is required. It typically comes pretty instant, so by the time you finish your registration, you will have your UEI number. The next thing that you will obtain is a cage code. Okay? A cage code is also going to be issued to you after you complete your registration. This is also something that is absolutely required for you to actually have and very beneficial because you can't do business with the government without it. So let's just jump straight into registration. Before you do anything else, you want to gather your information. You want to gather all of the things that you actually need in order for you to be successful in this registration. I'm going to hold your hand because this registration can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming because it's new, and anything that's new likely requires a little bit of extra energy, okay? You can absolutely do it. I'll walk you through it, okay? That rhymed. I made a rhyme. Okay. So before we get started, number one, and if you know anything about me, I am a critical planner and prep crazy. So before we even Google SAMs.gov, we want to make sure that we have the things that we need. The things that you need are your official documentation from your county or state as registration of your business. So that documentation that you got in the mail or via digitally, that has your certification where your company is actually certified. It's a stamp and a signature. You need that, okay? Grab that. You'll also need your EIN number. You'll need your bank account information. Bank account in your business name, right? This is like step 2 from my previous video. You'll need your bank account information. You'll also need your physical address, and you'll need to know what your NAICS codes are because we have to put them in, okay? And so a NAICS code is, okay, we got it? Got it. And then you'll need your owner's information, so your personal information. You will also need to input into this system. So once you have all of those pieces of documents and information ready for you to do your registration, you're still not going to go to SAMs.gov. Where you're going to go is to login.gov because you need to create an account with login.gov in order for you to establish a username and password for you to get into and have full access with all the files and all the documents and all the attachments, and there is a lot, in SAMs.gov. So go to login.gov, you'll create an account. It'll require 2-step verification or authentication. It's basically verifying your identity, okay? And you need to do that. This application or registration for SAMs.gov is critical. And you have to be as truthful as possible. So make sure you put your information in correct. Use the addresses that you need to use. Use phone numbers and the email addresses that you need to use in order for them to find who you are. They will eventually attach it to like your social security number. And so do that and don't rush through it. Don't rush through anything pertaining to business. Do not rush, okay? Because it can be so much more costly for you to fix a problem just because you weren't dedicated to actually taking your time and investing in yourself to make sure you do it right the first time, okay? Okay, once you've done all that and you have your login.gov username and password, then you're gonna go over to SAMS. Now we're ready, okay? When you get to SAMS.gov, you will open up the website and click on Get Started. Somewhere on the page there will be a Get Started. Once you click on Get Started, you will see a either green or blue tab that says Register Your Entity. That is what you want to do. From the very beginning, when you register your entity, you want to register to be able to do business with the government and contract bidding, but you also want to register yourself with awards. They'll give you 3 options: register for awards, register for contract bidding, and then register for both. You do both, okay? And we never know where things will go. That is for like grants and other things like that, which we'll talk about in a completely separate video. Right now we're just talking about contracting. When you get to that portion on the screen, you want to select all of it. You want to do all of the things when you're registering your entity, one time and done, okay? We're saving time and energy is what we're actually doing. Then it will require you to enter your business information. Enter your business information as it is written on the documentation that you receive that is stamped by your state, okay? Or your county. Make sure everything is correct. Just go through the prompts. It is a very long application. I'm going to warn you now. This is not something that you can do in 10 minutes. It's not something you can do in 1 hour. If you are dedicated, you could possibly get it done in 2 hours. It took me a whole 2 days. And I did my application and registration back in 2020 during COVID. I also had recently had a second child. So there was nothing that I could actually do for longer than an hour. Okay. That's just, I digress. So it took me 2 days. You do have the opportunity to save your progress and pause to come back in if you actually need to. I know everyone has a really busy schedule, so make it make sense for you, okay? And that's with all things business. Don't try to do things the way everybody else is doing it or the way they're saying they're doing it. Likely, they're not actually telling the truth. So do it the way that actually works and is beneficial to you and your family. That is a piece of advice, unsolicited, that I'm giving you right now. So you're welcome. You'll enter your information. They'll pull up what they have for you in the system, verify that it is actually your business, and keep moving along. Data information and assertions, you'll go through set-aside, certifications, and all of those things. So I'm going to pause really quick here because I want to reference what a set-aside is. So a set-aside is exactly what that sounds like. It is a set aside. It is a portion of money, is a portion of contracts that is actually set aside for a particular group. Once you register your business, 99% of everyone that's registering their business for SAM.gov will classify underneath a total small business set aside, right? And I think that's, depending on what your industry is, the numbers are different. Like in general, less than $3 million a year, okay? And so you classify as a total business set aside, just from registering and having your business active on SAM.gov. There are additional set-asides, right? There is a woman-owned set-aside, a minority-owned set-aside, there is a 8 set-aside, and there is a veteran set-aside, and then a disadvantaged veteran set-aside. All of these are small, well, not small, they're large groups that are actually set aside for particular opportunity. Put a pin in that because I'm going to come back to that when we start talking about what the actual SAMS.gov website looks like and what you should keep your eye on as you're searching for opportunities once you get registered, okay? So a set aside is a set aside for a group of individuals or people in a particular classification, okay? The cool thing about SAMS.gov is SAMS.gov will allow you to self-certify in some instances. Obviously, it has to be able to be proven, right? So going into your application or your registration for SAMS.gov, me doing it, I would self-certify as a woman in minority-owned business because that is something that can be proven with a birth certificate, right? So if you're a woman, you want to self-certify. In order to get certification as a particular group or set aside, you have to do that with this SBA. So that is completely separate from SAMS.gov. You'll go over to SBA, and we'll talk about that later because you don't have to do it right this very moment. You'll go over to the SBA, you'll fill out their application for each different set aside. There is a different application for each one. You can group them together, but you still have to go through the different questionnaire portions of the set aside. And so that is to get certified, right? So if you hear the word like certs, right? That is for what set aside you have actually been certified with by the SBA. And it will be clear once you go through the process and they ask you if you've been certified by the SBA or if you are certifying yourself as a disabled veteran or a women-owned small business. So you do have the opportunity to self-certify. I really suggest you do that then. The application process to actually get certified with the SBA is a different process. Takes a little bit of, everything takes time. I don't want to keep saying it takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit, all of the things take time, right? So if you are interested in making money tomorrow, pump your brakes. Okay, we'll get there. But you have to do things the right way, and you have to have your organization set up the right way in order for you to be successful. Okay, and you can do this. You can do this. Okay. All right. So back to it. In the registration process, they'll ask you specific questions about if you're already certified. If you are, put it in. If you're not and you self-certify with a particular group, put that in as well. Do it right. Do it right. Okay? All right. Once that's taken care of, they will then ask you for your business banking account information. And per my last video, you guys already have that taken care of. I'm sure of it. In the application process, they will ask you if you accept credit card payments. You want to put yes. Even if you don't currently do it right now, you want to put yes, because that's something that is easily done and will take less than an hour for you to set up. You can do that after your application process. Okay? Okay. They will also ask you for past performances. So if you don't have any past performances, and this is a very fresh new entity that you are registering, that's okay. Okay? That is okay. If you do have past performances, put it down. Very beneficial. You want to make sure that you're as transparent as possible when you're going through this. When you're going through all of the business processes, you need to be as transparent as possible. Now that is the registration process. I want to go into detail a little bit about being an expert and being an entrepreneur. So when you get down to doing your NAICS codes, right, you want to put the 2 NAICS codes that are primary to your current business. If that's a consultant business, if that is a landscape business, whatever the business is, you want to make sure that your first 2, they are your primary, that your 2 primary NAICS codes are associated to the services that you primarily or easily can provide. After that, you want to use the other 4 to 6. I think it's about 6 that you can additional that you can add. You want to use those as supporting NAICS codes. So if you have a landscaping company and you use your 2 primary NAICS codes for that, supporting NAICS codes would also include like building maintenance. Okay, it would include maybe some highway and roadside services. It would include building dwellings, and it kind of just depends on if you just do commercial or you're residential. You want to look for things outside of it just being stated plain, and you can do that by using Google. They also have a search option on the website for you to just type in some things and see what comes up. But you want to make sure that your NAICS codes are pretty much stacked in. That does not restrict you from bidding on anything and everything once you actually get registered in SAM.gov. And I'll actually tell you how to do that once we get into the process of actually bidding. And I'll do a video on that where I can actually show you what it looks like to search for solicitations, for you to download the attachments, skim through what you need to find to identify if it's a good opportunity for you or not, and then how you set yourself up to win in regards to the NAICS codes. I truly feel like there's enough wins for everyone. That's my personal opinion. So I'm going to give you as much as I have and as much as I've learned in full transparency, so you guys can actually see how you can do it and what your opportunities actually are. I feel like the more 6- and 7-figure businesses that we can actually put outside, the better the world will be for everyone. Just my personal opinion. So that is my mission. Once you complete your application and you review everything and you click submit, give yourself a pat on the back or a hand clap, okay? Because you did a good job. You'll typically wait between 3 to 10 days, sometimes longer depending on what the government has going on, if there's any delays in registration. I have not seen that go longer than 10 days, but don't quote me on that. Well, once you do submit your application, you'll receive your cage code, which comes after your application is submitted. Once you have your cage code, you are ready to bid. You're ready to go into SAMs.gov with no restrictions, because if you log into it now and kind of poke around, you won't be able to see the attachments. If you don't have an account, you won't see the attachments that are listed at the bottom of the solicitations, which gives you the scope of work and all of the details. You won't see that. It'll just kind of be blanked out. You can see the information that they put in the description, but you can't actually see the major details. So once you get your cage code, they send you your email telling you that you are active. You're going to log in with your login.gov username and password. You'll open your portal into SAMs.gov. You'll click on dashboard. If it doesn't automatically pop up, your business name will be in the right hand corner, and at the bottom there'll be little sections. Under status, it will say active. Once your status says active, you are good to go. Once we're ready to bid, 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 bid. The way you make your money is to actually be the middleman, to be an entrepreneur, to provide them with the services and products that they're looking for, and they are looking for everything. Any business under the sun, they want. So happy bidding to you, okay? And once you complete the registration process, we'll actually go into bid. I want you to go in and search around and poke around on the website so you can actually understand some lingo. Another big one is solicitation. A solicitation is literally just the opportunity. Each opportunity or solicitation has its own number. It's a very long number. Sometimes it may have letters in it. That solicitation number is specifically attached to that particular opportunity. No solicitations is repeated in number form. It's not. So these are the things that you actually need to know in order to get started. Government contracting for beginners. I'm so happy to share this information with you. I hope it actually helps. Government contracting can be overwhelming. I am here to hold your hand, okay? Let's do it. If you need help with your registration, comment on this video and I will post more content to actually help you along the process. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for joining the community of Our Polished Pursuit. Get ready to bid, okay? Okay. Au revoir.